In our last two videos, we delved deep into the take and skip methods. Today, we're going to explore their counterparts, TakeLast and SkipLast. While the take and skip methods allow us to operate on the beginning of collections, the TakeLast and SkipLast methods enable us to operate on the end of collections. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how and when to use these methods effectively. Let's start with the TakeLast method. This method returns a new enumerable collection containing the last count elements from the source. It has only one overload, the method name accompanied by an integer parameter, which indicates the number of elements to be returned from the end of the collection. For instance, consider a string list with 5 elements. Using TakeLast with the number 2 returns the last 2 elements from the list. When used with the number 5, it returns all elements from the list. And when used with the number 7, it still returns all the elements from the list. Notably, no exception is thrown if the count of elements is less than the specified number. Now, let's examine the SkipLast method. It returns a new enumerable collection, omitting the last count elements from the source. In simpler terms, it skips the last count elements of the sequence. It has only one overload, the method name accompanied by an integer parameter, which indicates the number of elements to be skipped from the end of the collection. Using the same string list as an example, employing SkipLast with the number 2 returns the first 3 elements from the list. Using SkipLast with the number 5 returns an empty collection, as all elements are skipped. Similarly, using it with the number 7 also returns an empty collection. Again, it's important to note that no exception is thrown, even if the count of elements to skip exceeds the total number of elements in the collection. As already mentioned, both methods return an enumerable collection. In this example, the output of both methods is an IEnumerable of string. To convert the output to list, for example, we can use toList method. Both methods throw an argument null exception only in case the collection is empty. For example, the following array is empty. Using TakeLast or SkipLast throws an exception. In general, we should use a positive number to return or skip the last elements of a sequence. But what happens in case we enter a negative number, for example -1? Suppose we have the following integer array. TakeLast with a negative number returns an empty collection, because no element will be returned. SkipLast with a negative number returns the same input collection, because no element will be skipped. So, using a negative number doesn't throw an exception, but either an empty collection, or the same collection, depending on the used method. Let's dive into some queries where I've positioned these methods in various ways. Our first query aims to retrieve the 3 newest files from a directory. As demonstrated, the files are sorted in ascending order based on their last write time. To conclude the sequence, I've utilized the TakeLast method to fetch only the last 3 elements, which correspond to the 3 newest files. This example showcases the mixed syntax, with the method placed after the query. In the second example, the goal is to omit the last 3 rows from a data table. The outcome of this query is a new data table, mirroring the original but without the last 3 rows. Here, I've employed the method syntax. Now, let's explore another scenario. Imagine a data table populated with various rows, some of which are duplicates. The objective is to extract unique rows, effectively eliminating duplicates. The provided query achieves this. Observe how I've harnessed the content of all columns in the group by clause. Subsequently, I've chosen only the last element from each group, ensuring each row's unique representation in the result, regardless of its repetition in the original table. Alternatively, the same outcome can be attained using the SkipLast method. By pairing the group variable with the function count -1, I've instructed the query to disregard all but the first row within a group. Both methods yield identical results, showcasing their versatility. These examples highlight the adaptability of both methods across different data types and scenarios. Additionally, they underscore how either method can often achieve the same result. That sums up our deep dive into TakeLast and SkipLast for now.